sugar output in India's top producing state Maharashtra is likely to fall 14% in 23-24 crop year. Now, to its lowest in 4 years due to lower cane yields following the driest August in more than a century. According to media reports, the reduced output could add to food inflation and discourage government from allowing sugar exports, further increasing global prices, which are already, remember, near their highest in a decade. Higher domestic prices will, however, improve margins for producers. So, Balrampur Chini, Dwarikesh Sugar, Sri Renuka Sugars, Dalmia Bharat Sugar could make more money if they are able to shore up their revenue. Let's quickly understand what's happening as far as sugar is concerned. With me, joining is my colleague Krishnakumar in the studio. Krishna, before I go to our markets guest and perhaps talk about the impact on stocks specifically, we are looking at yet another crop item, this time sugar, an essential commodity at that. Its yield is perhaps going to hurt India, specifically because Maharashtra is the biggest producer of sugarcane, right, and the yields are decreasing.
Right, and that's happening because Maharashtra incidentally makes 1/3 of India's sugar output, and it has witnessed its driest August in a century. It's the lowest rains that Maharashtra has received for the month of August in a century, and that means that it will produce its lowest output in 4 years, which means for the year 2023-2024, the output is said to be around 9 million metric tons.
Okay.
Whereas compared to the previous year, 2020-23, that output, the total India's sugar output was 10.5 million metric tons. So it's going to be around 8% lower than last year. But bear in mind that Maharashtra is known globally as a sugar producer, as a state, for having wild swings in sugar production. Because if you take it back even a year further, in the year 2021-22, India produced nearly 13.5 million metric tons of sugar. So from 13.5, we've gone down to 10.5, and now we're going down to 9. So that's what's actually happening, and that's because of a very dry spell in monsoons. And even as we speak, the September rains are being tracked as well. If September, India is set to receive average rainfall from what we understand, and if Maharashtra too gets its average rainfall, the crops can be saved. Otherwise, Shweta, the problem is that a lot of crops are at the risk of being destroyed.
Absolutely.
Because of the dry spell in August. It's sugarcane crop. It requires a lot of water. Bear in mind, it doesn't, it's like rice. They're high water consuming crops, and that's what the problem is. A dry August is what has caused this problem as far as India's sugar output is concerned. A dry August in the state of Maharashtra, which produces 30% of India's sugar.
All right, and then there's going to be a direct impact, in fact, on stocks, yes, and a positive impact at that. Amit,
Shweta, if I can jump in over here.
Yes, absolutely.
The stocks have been rallying for a while now. Like last week, there was news that Avalene, which is the world's largest trader of sugar, said that there could be supply shortages because of which the stock ran up 10%. Now, traditionally, if you look at economics, when the supply decreases, the expectation is that the prices will move up. But sugar being, and Amit, please correct me if I'm wrong, sugar being an essential commodity, I don't think a lot of the, the companies can command higher prices. So the fact that these stocks are rallying is a bit of an anomaly. Amit, please fill us in.
What's happening? Why are the stocks rallying despite a fall in output?
Yeah, so I think, as you have, Krishna has also said that, the Maharashtra has surprised us all. There has been almost a 60% lower rainfall. So, I mean, there have just not been ample rainfall during this crucial growth phase. And that has led to, a reduced output. This could again, add to food inflation and discourage the government from, allowing sugar exports. And the global prices are actually at almost, at a lifetime high, more than a decade, their highest prices. So that highest domestic prices will actually improve the margins for the producers, because you're getting better prices for your yield, from the farmers, and then they are able to make payments on time to the farmers. So my sense is that that's where the stocks are rallying, because the market anticipate that there will be a ban on the sugar mills from exporting sugar in the season come October. That would halt the shipments for the first time in many years, and as a result, the stocks are sort of celebrating that.
All right.
So Amit, just to clarify, these companies can increase prices, and we don't expect any sort of a cap when it comes to sugar prices. Is that so?
I mean, it's not up to them to increase the prices. Eventually, the government has to see what is the balance. So usually, the crushing season, which starts in mid-October, usually they take a call then. But now the crushing season has got a push by about 30 days. So I think they'll make a decision closer to mid-November, around Diwali or just before Diwali as well. Yeah. I mean, we have to wait and see on that front. Yeah.
You know, more than the rising prices of sugar, what worries me is yet another administrative measure that perhaps the government of India will have to take by banning export of sugar, which has been the case in case of rice as well, where in order to meet its own indigenous demand, the rice exports, non-basmati rice exports, had to be banned in order to shore up our own buffers, which is going to be the case now in case of sugar as well. And so therefore comes the charge, especially from Western countries. Look, India is exporting inflation to the rest of the world. I mean, we don't have much of a choice, do we?
Well, when we are dependent on the monsoons for how the final crop of the produce comes along, so it's a toss, it's a coin toss. So
Absolutely.
The West can cast aspersions, but we are acting as per market dynamics. Market dynamics says that if supply is low, prices go up. Prices go up, profitability goes up. Profitability goes up, it's good for the companies, and if it's good for the companies, it's definitely good for the stocks out there. So that's a simple equation. But what the government does by intervening and by banning exports is ensuring that it takes care of its own first.
Right.
You have to take care of prices. Nobody is going to like it if sugar prices go through the roof in this country. I mean, sugar is such an essential commodity that it's not even like tomatoes. When if you want to give a pass, you can give a pass. You can't give a pass to sugar. So the fact that government wants to step in, and I think Amit, if I'm inferring from what he's saying, right, the rise in the sugar stocks sort of factors in the fact that they are expecting government to cut down on exports of sugar. So that seems to be an eventuality the markets have factored in already.
All right, and higher the margins, better the stock prices, which is what's happening right here as far as all sugar stocks is concerned.